it's just so much changes, man. Speaking of Adam Silver, he is trying to change the All-Star format. They got it to another fucking tournament again. I felt like they did this before with the Kobe Bryant game.
Bro,
First to
honestly,
24
I'm over it.
points. Yeah, it's
I
just,
think All Star's outdated.
you know what it is? They need to, I don't know, man. They need to sell that to the Middle East. They need to sell it to, have that in Brazil, have it somewhere, make it like a whole week and a half, give the players
Yeah,
off, and then
like
when those countries bid for it, pay the top players to participate in the dunk contest. Like that's how it should
'cause
go.
I don't see a world where these guys like will give a shit anytime soon. Because you could bring all kind of like rules and legislation, and we're all fans of it. We all welcome it, but it depends on the players at the end of the day.
Now, do you think because this is kind of a dilemma right here? Do you think
Yeah.
the owners want a guy like Jason Tatum? He's on your books for 300. Jalen Brown, he's on your books for 300. Do you want them making it competitive at that game, risking your investment?
No.
Yeah, that's the real conversation. I'm surprised they don't have that. They put all the onus on the players.
Yeah, it's bullshit because the owners, your medical staff, they're the ones that decide if a player plays or not,
Yeah, or how hard they
and they
go.
decide the minutes. Yeah, they decide the minutes of the players.
Yeah, I don't think
Look, like I think,
my bad. I don't think
yeah,
Jeannie Buss wants LeBron James. We all know the value he adds to a franchise. What, $500 million when he went back to Cleveland of net worth he
yeah,
added in. I don't think they want those guys risking it at the All-Star game.
no, fuck no, man. Also, like I said, these players, like a lot of them don't really care. Like, bro, let's be honest. Like, the only superstar who actually tries hard is Giannis.
Yeah, but Giannis looked like he's starting to dial it back because that all those years is starting to hit on him.
Yeah, because he's been dealing with so many injuries, but before then, it's only been Giannis that I can remember actually gave a shit. And oddly enough, Chris Middleton always played pretty well in the All Star game.
Yeah. But the All Star game, they need to just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they could fix it. I'll be honest with you. But all I know, like, they're trying to position it for streaming. They're positioning it for a global audience that will actually care about it. And they want to position it the same way Logan Paul and Mike Tyson positioned it.
Yeah,
They want to make like the All Star game on their next TV deal part of a different package. Like they can do another deal with ESPN, etc. But they'll say, "Oh, the All Star Game is on Netflix," and then it'll be a huge global event. It's in Brazil because because
yeah,
because Brazil bidded on it, so they have different nations bidding on the All Star Game, and then they'll have enough money to pay like a Beyonce to perform. Like they want to make it a spectacle for streaming. Like
it'll be cool.
that's the reason
Yeah,
because we're seeing a push. Like Adam Silver having the meeting last year, behind the scenes, bringing all the former legendary players. Hey guys, can you play a lot harder in this game? Is because they're
yeah,
trying to position the shit for something.
yeah. No, I agree. You want to make it into like a carnival like carnival like event, but at the same time, you kind of need the players to pull their weight into that event,
Mm-hmm.
and you also have to bring in a lot more eyes. Like I think these kind of ideas, they kind of feel empty to me. I'm like, who cares? Like
Yeah,
if
it
like the
is.
dunk contest, I'm all for it, right? We're all for it in general, but like let's be honest. Mm,
I don't know, man. I would say All Star game in Mexico City, 2 weeks off for all the players, whether you in it or not. If you're in it, of course you have to participate in it, but you get to go to Mexico City with your family for 2 weeks, and you're only playing in one game.
yeah,
So you get to do all your little promo events, but at the end of the day, you got one game in 2 weeks, and then it's like a
yeah,
real break. Like maybe he should leverage it that way.
yeah.
It's one game in 2 weeks. You guys
Because
ain't.
like I'm gonna be honest, the only ones who try hard are like the all stars who nobody really cares enough to watch, like Carl Anthony Towns, Chris Middleton. Those kind of guys, you see them try hard. You're not seeing guys like LeBron, Steph Curry, Luka, Jokic try hard.
Nope.
No.
Nope. And
Like
it,
Karl Anthony Towns dropped 50 points. Tyrese Halliburton had a crazy All-Star game. But
yeah.
like,
There
are
were
you turning on your TV to watch him play an All-Star game?
nah, the way Cat was playing last year, he was just like, yo, it was too easy. Nobody was playing that hard. Cat, I was
But
watching
he's
Cat
entertaining.
dunk.
Yeah, he
Cat
was
was
entertaining. I
dunking.
gotta give him that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, look at Cat. He going hard, man. Nobody playing
Cat, cat,
defense.
cat treated it like an NBA championship game.
Yeah, I was like, look at Cat, man, going down the lane. But Adam Silver, that wasn't the only switch up, man.
Yeah.
There's rumblings now that they want to make the whole playoffs no conference, which I think it's cap.
Nah, I don't think it works.
Yeah,
The owners won't allow it.
yeah, they won't because the teams that always suck is gonna be harder for them to make the playoffs, aka making more money, more ticket sales, more concessions. It's just, but they said in a Western Conference executive told Brian Windhorst when they apply for expansion or get the extra 2 teams that they're really pushing for that. Which I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's true.
I don't think the owners want it. If you're the owner of the Eastern Conference, right? Your team's gonna be dominated by every every California team. I don't see a world where the Eastern Conference becomes relevant.
Whoa, whoa,
Like
whoa,
you're just
whoa,
asking
whoa,
for
whoa,
the.
whoa! I'm gonna have to have a little pushback from that. Former East Coaster, man. I'm gonna have a pushback on that. I think that narrative for the Western Conference being dominant, if they did make the playoffs like that, that narrative would break because the Western Conference is full of names, but most of the times it's full of names that not really having any impact. You know what I mean? Like, do you think LeBron is getting through the top 4 teams in the East? I'm not talking about like this season. I'm talking about like when Giannis was healthy with Drew Holiday, or when Embiid was healthy, or when what's his name, the Boston Celtics. He wasn't gonna get through those teams.
No, hell no.
He like this whole like Western Conference is dominant with names. They're dominant with names. They're not dominant. They wouldn't dominate the East. The top of the Eastern Conference, I would say, is either on par or even better than the West. And it's been I really feel like it's been like that since Kawhi went to the Eastern Conference. If you really look at it, it was what, Kawhi with the Raptors. It was Jimmy Butler with the 76ers. It was with Giannis on the come up, and then you had the Brooklyn Nets with KD. So it was different.
No, he was with the Warriors.
Oh yeah, he was with the Warriors. Okay. There was another team.
You had Kawhi, you had Philly. Boston was kind of irrelevant. So it was, what was it? Philly, Bucks, Raptors. Then you could put the Celtics, maybe.
No, yeah,
those were the 4.
Yeah, because the Celtics.
But the Celtics underachieved that year.
Yeah, they underachieved that year, but they made the conference finals the year before. But yeah, they were kind of in a weird situation. I think they went to go get Kemba after that.
Yeah, because Kyrie Irving demanded out, and that was Kevin Durant's Achilles injury that year.
Yeah, but that the top of that conference, it was weird. I think 2019 to like 2022, the top of that conference was real solid. It was real solid.
Yes.
It was real solid. And, the Western Conference still had a lot of names, but the names didn't really have the impact as people think. Like Dame, I'd have to cross out Dame in the Blazers. I would have to cross out Zion in the Pelicans, the Sacramento Kings. Like, it's just a lot of, like...
There's a lot of empty teams in the West. I'm not going to argue with that.
The Clippers, for the most part, have been an empty team, even with Paul George. The Lakers are an empty team. That's an empty team, no doubt.
What about Phoenix?
Wait, what's so crazy? The Lakers are such an empty team. I just realized Jimmy Butler at least put up a fight in the finals against with that Miami Heat team.
Dragic.
Yeah. Then the Lakers against Jokic in the playoffs that year, against swept back-to-back years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird, but I would be interested though. I'm not gonna lie, if they remove the conference and just say,
I would much rather have that in the cup, to be honest with you, than like getting rid of the conference.
That would be tough, man. In the cup, like it would be like imagine Imagine one team just had a knockout game and they have to go all the way to the West Coast. That's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
No, that I think that's where you could do it because I think the NBA already built their kind of like I just don't think people are gonna welcome that kind of change. To be honest with you.
You know what? To be honest with you, the way the league is now, it's a lot of change already got welcomed in. It's already like we're doing fourth quarter replays. We have
Yeah,
challenges.
yeah, but that's a minor change, bro, as compared to like changing the whole dynamics and how NBA works. You're talking about like two different things, bro.
No, but they already did in season tournament. The play in.
Yeah, but even the in-season tournament, you have the East and the West at the end meeting each other.
True, but then you have the play in where they altered the way the league is. Now you got a 7 seed fighting to stay alive. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
I don't like the play-in. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah, but the play in kind of made it a little wild card. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like
Yeah,
it.
but I think it's kind of useless now, bro. Because you're kind of rewarding bullshit teams.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like
Yeah.
about it. But
Like
it's
last year, Zion and the Pelicans would have been fun if they were just able to secure the 6th seed. But the fact, Zion got injured and, we had to see the LeBron James and the Nuggets get swept. It's just like, all right, who gives a shit?
yeah, that was kind of
Yeah.
tough to watch. Matter of fact, speaking of the NBA Cup, I seen the Houston Rockets clinch it, and it's allowing a lot of fan bases of teams that are normally not in position to possibly go to the Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals. It gives them something to cheer for.
Yeah, you saw with the Indiana Pacers last year.
Yeah, and then the Pistons, the Hawks, the Blazers are kind of still in it. The Kings and
I,
Grizzlies and
I
Nuggets
think
are
the
already
Spurs secured their
eliminated.
spot.
Wait, my
The
bad.
Grizzlies are already eliminated.
Yeah, teams that are already
Yeah.
eliminated. The Kings, well, basically they're almost out. They already lost 2 games.
Yeah.
The Kings, Grizzly, Nuggets are basically like one more loss. I mean, pretty much they need a miracle to get out of their group.
Yeah.
But the Blazers, the Rockets, the Hawks, Pistons, their fan base got something to cheer for, man. And that'll be a good look.
Yeah.
That'll be
Oh
a
yeah.
good
It's
look.
because, like I don't think Memphis has anything to prove with the in-season tournament, right? Because I think we're kind of expecting bigger from Memphis. But if you're a team like Houston trying to figure out a culture, this is a big like morale boost.
Orlando, they got 2
Yeah.
wins, no losses.
Orlando
Orlando's in
needs a
it.
morale boost. I
Yeah.
think Atlanta Hawks also needs a morale boost because they kind of pivoted their roster.
Yeah, Chicago is in it.
Yeah,
Chicago's
Chicago
fighting
needs
through
a
it.
morale boost.
Yeah, even the Clippers are so in it. Let me see who else is in it. The Spurs are in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
Yeah, the
interesting.
Spurs just beat Utah for it yesterday. Yeah, today.
Yep, and then the Warriors clinch the spot. So
Yeah.
this is I'm telling you, it's not a bad concept because some fan bases could actually get a little pride right there, man. Something that they never really experienced in a
Yeah.
while.
I mean, you're seeing it with Houston Rockets fans. There's a lot of pride in their younger talent.
Yeah, there is a lot of
Yeah.
pride. It's gonna take some seasons, but hey, they got something to build on.
Yeah.
I would like to see man, who I like to see in the in-season cup final. I would like to see like a franchise like the Knicks or like even Apollo. Let's say Apollo came back. The Magic
fun.
in there, Paulo versus Jalen Green. That would be exciting. Or like I like to see Wemby versus Paulo in the finals.
Montero. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. I think even like I don't know, Cade Cunningham would
Yeah.
be fun in those events too. I
Even
think-
the Pistons. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of teams could be fun.
Or even the knockout rounds could get interesting. The Pistons versus the
Yeah.
Bulls, or Trey Young versus the Pistons. Like
Yeah.
this could this is the first time we could see like young teams with players on the come up where they have the ability to shine on a stage. Sometimes it's not really about
100%.
playing on a high level. You get to see the player in a certain stage.
Especially if you're like a pivoting team, you'd want that. Like the Atlanta Hawks are a team that pivoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's like now we got more money, we're more flexible, we can be a better team.
Yep. And speaking of the Hawks, man, did you see how they cracked down on Trey Young not playing a game? The league kind of cracked them over the head and charged them 100 grand and did a
Yeah.
private investigation with their own doctor.
Oh
That's how
yeah.
much the league does not want teams benching stars for load management. They are not playing no more.
That's
They
good, man. I mean, dude, how much more can you flex? How much more can you flex the days? You know?
Yeah, but the Hawks, they actually sat him down for one of the in-season tournament games, right? For the Emirates Cup.
Yeah, and the incident tournament is trying to be the moneymaker for the NBA.
Yep, the NBA is definitely trying to crack down, but the Hawks are maintaining that Trae Young was actually hurt. They're actually standing by it, but the league hired their own doctor to investigate the
Look,
situation. Yeah,
the league is gonna be a dictatorship, bro.
Yeah.
The league is a dictatorship now. Like I think the player movement, they're seeing a lot of money loss. And look, the league, do the players deserve the blame? Fuck no. But like, you know what? They don't. Do they? Should they hold blame? Sure, but not 100% of it.
No, I think with the player movement, there was a few mistakes. Like what LeBron
I think
did
that,
was fine. He was a free agent. But the only mistake with the player movement is what Kevin Durant did. You don't re-sign with your team and then ask to be traded. That shit was not a good look. Same thing for Anthony Davis. What he did down there in New Orleans, that was not a good
sitting
look.
the season out.
Yeah, that was not a good look. And they were winning. They were winning in the beginning of that year. If you look at the record.
But I think even load management, bro. Like I don't think they like the idea of Kawhi sitting every other 3 days, every other 2 days at this point.
Yeah, and also getting paid.
Yeah, and Embiid has been very shameless about it this year.
Yeah, and then the amount of money these guys are making, it's gonna increase, and it's not a good PR thing to see a guy making 80 mil a year gets to sit out games, and then you ask the fans to come in and pay the money for the tickets, and they don't get to see it.
Buy the jerseys.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
I mean, dude, imagine like this: you're an owner, and you hear and you see Paul George resting for a game, but then 3 hours later you see this is podcast P.
Yeah, yeah. The optics are not right.
Yeah,
you're right. There's a social media aspect to it too. Everyone's more accessible.
Yeah, so like, you're watching him get more money, right? While you're forking over more money to him.
Yes, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be some casualties. Some players are actually gonna be hurt, and they're gonna be kind of forced to. I think the league is gonna calm down on the situation, but when the load management era kind of passes by, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna they're gonna be strict now, but eventually down the line, they're gonna dial it back a little bit, because right now the NBA, they got that stink on them, man. They do have the load management. It's a stench that's really on the league. It's like people, certain casual fans that don't really watch the league as hard. The aura around the NBA is that, guys are gonna take the night off, or guys are not going as hard during the regular season. Like that's the aura around the league, and I think Adam Silver is trying to find a way with situations like this with the Hawks, with the independent doctor, and finding the team 100 grand. This is his way of kind of putting it out there that we're gonna whip these guys back into shape. Not necessarily we're trying to be the bad guy, but we're trying to get rid of the load management aura that's around the NBA. That narrative, sometimes the narrative is just too loud. It's too loud.
I mean, bro, when ESPN is talking about it, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, it's just when your everyday casual talks about it, and it's they're watching NBA Twitter and all social media sites. That's pretty much
NBA Twitter is one of the biggest sports communities online,
Yeah, and that's the instant feedback. That's the instant feedback, and like I said, the league is in a transition. Their TV partners just paid a shit ton of money for all these packages, and they're not trying to hear, why we got this game on Amazon, but yet the NBA, we just paid all this money for the game, and we got Joel Embiid sitting out. Meanwhile, this guy was just dancing at a party.
Drummond play basketball.
Yeah,
you have to watch Andre Drummond play basketball, or Paul George sits out, and then 2 hours later is a podcast P episode with him and his boys. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think the medicals too. I don't know if these guys. I don't know what's the medical situation like on the reporting. If teams share it,
Yeah,
but some of these players, I think they have chronic problems, and either teams are hiding it or players are dealing with their own doctors, and certain situations are being hidden. Because I don't understand Paul George. He's kind of been under this like load management for a while,
yeah,
and it's I don't know. It's strange, and especially for him to get the max deal. Like it's not like he came in with a strong reputation to get that max deal.
yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting situation playing out here throughout the league.